Hey, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you're awake. You have your coffee. We got Mr. Alec Hanson over there on the other side. And thanks for joining in again. We are having so much fun with this Monday Mojo. And a lot of people have been asking me, where did the Mojo come from? What is Mojo? What does it mean? What does it stand for? Well, I'm going to tell you, man, because I know you probably are 1 and 2, Alec, right?
Let's go. Yeah, hit me.
Mojo. Mojo is, what is your mojo? Okay. My boy Brian Hunter was on last week and he asked me, what is mojo? And then we started talking about it. What is your mojo? What that is what motivates you. It's a mixture of what motivates you, what keeps you disciplined, and what is your why. So now you know what the mojo is. So now as we hear Mr. Alec over here getting ready to talk about his mojo, let's pick his brain, man. I got my remarkable. I told some of you guys about that before. I'm giving them a little shameless plug, I guess. But this thing is awesome. I've written down tons of things I want to ask him. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the man, the myth, the legend, my friend and boss, our Senior Vice President of Sales at loanDepot, Mr. Alec Hanson. So
What's
go
up,
ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, dude, I'm just a loan hack, man. I've just been doing loans my whole life. I'm a SoCal kid. I went to school up in Northern California. I came back and started as a receptionist doing home loans, brother. My family, my dad's been in it for 30 plus years.
Right.
And I just kind of asked for a job when I was in college. When you find the mortgage industry, you realize you found something really special. And it's just this hidden gem of an industry. Right. And so it's just been an incredible journey for me. So, I started in 2003 and, just really blessed to do what I do. So but I'm a mortgage kid. Like I learned on the streets. I learned going out to broker previews and open houses and building relationships. And it's funny, Matt, 2003 was as big a refi boom as we just had.
Yeah.
It was gigantic. One of the biggest years in the history. And I got really lucky because I got sat with a mentor who basically said, look, I'm going to tell you how to win in this game. Don't worry about refis. Just go build relationships with realtors.
Right.
And I had to go out of the office every single day and bring back 8 business cards from agents before I could do anything else for the day. And so I was trained kind of in this purchase-centric, referral-centric relationship business. And man, that served me really well over the years. So that's a little bit about me. I got a beautiful wife. We've been married coming up on 16 years. I got a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, a little English baby bulldog, and just surviving COVID, bro. Just living the dream. Man,
like us all. That's funny, man. A lot of things in common with the kids. And I used to have a bulldog, had to get rid of it because my daughter had allergies. But, enjoy that baby bulldog. So yeah. Where'd you go to school at, man?
I went to school at Berkeley.
Berkeley. So you're one of the smart guys.
No, I tricked you.
Come on, man. We can brag on you a little bit. Come on, you went to Berkeley. That's a big deal to me.
I did okay, dude. I have a we're all raised differently, and I remember one time in like 3rd grade or something, I came home with like a B, and my mom like sat me down, and she was like, "You're not a B student," and she like spoke that into me, right. And then that just internalized in my heart. So now every time I'm whether I'm working hard or competing or in school or whatever it is, like I just have this internal like pull of like, who I am. And she planted that in me early and it did well for me.
Man, well, you can tell that somebody implanted something in you that was good, whether your mom, your dad, or both, and family in general, because you can see that every day in business. I watch you from afar, even though I know I can email you, pick up the phone, or Facebook you whenever I want. And that you don't get from every SVP. So you have a lot of good things going on. Like I said, I follow you, and the things you say, I try to put into practice because they have served me well. And
you're killing it, dude. You're putting yourself out there every day, dude. I remember even that back when we did that one video at like a sales rally.
Yeah.
And we filmed it to send to your people, man. You've been leading from the front, dude.
Man, I appreciate that. I really do. A lot of people have been asking me, and this is perfect to have you on the show because how old are you now, Alec?
39.
39, man. God, I just hit 50. You're a young man still, man.
Young pup, man.
You've been powering up that ladder, and you have made it up there. So keep it going, man, because you are driving a lot of people. So we're going to talk a little bit about, maybe the mojo in the industry right now, because people keep asking me, what's this market doing? And I know you follow a lot of the same folks that I'm friends with and follow. Barry Habib, we have Jason Frazier, those guys that are great about talking about the market and things to implement. But where do you see the next couple years in our market? Because people are scared right now. They don't know what to do. You know, talk to that a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, it's repeating history, and yet it's a little bit different. So on the repeating history front, you know, we're low rates are not going to be low forever. Right. So, you know, the refinance market is here, and it will not be here forever. So, you know, when I look back 17 years ago, it was in the same type of environment, and then we all remember when it went away. Right. And so there's this huge focus on purchase business. That's a core of any great professional. And so you hear a bunch of people ringing that bell, like don't forsake purchase business, don't forsake. But the other thing that's unique here in this environment is the world's gone digital right underneath us. Yes. And it was actually happening, Max. So it was happening in 2018. We just didn't really see it yet because we were a little blind to our current world. But the local mortgage professional was getting skipped over because the world was going digital. And to simplify that, you know, if you look back at 2003, 2004, the multiple listing services, the MLS, was private. You couldn't access it. We had Nokia brick phones that had Snake on it. And we had to print out MapQuest if we wanted to go find a house anywhere. Thank God we didn't have to use the Thomas Guide anymore.
Right.
And so you forget that so the top of the sales cycle, when everyone started home buying, the home buying process was started with a realtor, with a real estate professional, period. Because they had access to information. And so you had to start there. You had to start where the information was. Well, fast forward to today, and all of the information's here. And so the sales cycle, the start of a home buyer's experience is starting on their phone or on the computer.
Right.
And so that change in behavior is something that the local mortgage professional wasn't adapting to. We were still, and I'm going to say this, but I'm going to flip the coin on it too. We were still waiting for the real estate professional to send us a customer. Now, I say that real estate professionals, some of the good ones, still have tremendous amounts of authority and influence and can still refer clients to us at massive scale, and they're crucially important. But at the same time, it'd be ignorant to pretend that the customer isn't starting a digital journey now.
Right.
And that digital journey has consequences. It has things that are happening to it. That customer who is now going to Realtor.com or Zillow or Redfin or Trulia, whatever they're going, they're getting swept up by companies like Zillow, by companies like LendingTree. They're getting pulled into lead aggregation systems, and those systems are pushing them towards mortgage companies. Right. And when they bump into mortgage companies way up here, and then they get to a realtor, and then the realtor says, hey, call Mack, he's the man. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But if they do, they already also have another thing going on over here.
Yeah.
They've got rate quotes. They've got people calling them. They've got stuff coming after you. So that digitization of our sales cycle is something that the local pro has to figure out. And right now with refinances hitting everyone in the face, they're not figuring it out because they're busy. They're not investing in video. They're not investing in personal brand. They're not building digital communities. They're too busy.
Yeah.
It's the exact same loan officer in 2003 who got so busy with refinances, they stopped calling on realtors. When they went away, all their relationships were gone.
Right.
And the same thing happening right now. We're just a little distracted to see it. But it's happening because the customers have changed. And I see a lot of people not changing with it or thinking they don't have to. And it's going to be career ending for a lot of great professionals.
Yeah, you know, that was the same thing Jason Frazier and I talked about a few weeks ago on the show. And it's, you know, I don't want to say it's sad because everybody has an opportunity to transform, make a transformation, you know. Yeah. I know for me, it was a couple of years ago when I realized exactly what you're talking about, that people were now starting to go online first. And if I could find them first, instead of being a beggar, I can now be a game changer, you know? So my whole goal is
educating them. You can be the person setting, like, because there's lots of misinformation on the internet. There's lots of wrong things on there. So now you get the chance to be the person who is building equity with that customer.
Right.
Differentiate yourself, man. It's so night and day to me. You're so.
And I think instead of trying to always, you know, talk bad about Zillow or Trulia or complain about what they're doing, is you can get hyper local and focus where people know who you are in your area because they're seeing your videos all the time. They aren't seeing all Zillow's videos educating them. So when they're ready to do something, then they obviously want somebody they know, like, and trust and can be close to. So I think there's a lot of opportunity out there for people if they just, look at it from that standpoint.
Yep. It's your point. It's game changing, dude. Game changing.
And I love it because when I decided to come to loanDepot, it was a match made in heaven for one, but I couldn't believe it, because we've all been around. I mean, I went through several different companies before I found loanDepot, and everybody told me what I wanted to hear. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to lead gen and blah, 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 blah. We're going to help you with all this. And I was like, cool, cool, cool. And I walk in and it's nothing like that. All it is just back to the old school way of doing business. And if you're not forward thinking with technology, we will be dinosaurs. And when I came here, you guys said it and you delivered on it. So, with that, I kind of want to talk about where with COVID's kind of put turbo behind technology in the mortgage, space.
No doubt.
Talk to us a little bit about that and, where you see, loanDepot and technology and all those things that should put us ahead.
Well, I think COVID created an aha moment for a lot of mortgage companies, realizing I need to be in technology because technology in mortgage forever has always been LO-centric.
Right.
Give the LOs more tools, give them shiny objects, give them stuff. And that's fine because it makes the LOs happy. But that doesn't really solve the problem of mortgage because mortgage tech is really fulfillment. You don't need more bells and whistles or flyers or fancy websites. You need your loans closed in 24 hours. You want your loans done, clear to close in 24 hours. If you can have that, you can scale beyond your wildest dreams. Right. And you don't need to, look at any top producing team right now in the industry. Pick a team in any company. The top producing teams, they're stacked with support staff.
Exactly.
Stacked. And by the way, that's not bad, but staff means expense.
Right.
Of course. So they got to do more loans to cover more expense and probably make the same amount of money that somebody else could be making at half their production with less expense. It's an interesting thing. So we realize that we're stacking expense in support staff because the mortgage process sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. Compared to what we experience every day, Amazon, Prime, everything's incredible. Uber, all that stuff's incredible. And the mortgage industry is stuck in the 80s. It's embarrassing. And so the problem that most companies are going to have is that COVID exposed the need for new tech, but tech's not a light switch moment. Tech is a thing that builds over time. It starts with iPhone 1 and then you get to iPhone X. It doesn't just become this, I have new tech. When we rolled out data first and dual AUS, we led the pack. We were like the only company doing dual AUS and it was picking up huge wins for the field. And then people stepped up and figured it out and got on the same train. There's other companies doing it now. But where technology is going to go with character recognition and AI and machine learning, where a W-2 can come in and be approved within 7 seconds without a human being looking at it, you realize that that's going to be a light switch moment, but it didn't happen overnight. Right. It happened with a $100 million investment that Anthony made 4 or 5 years ago that has been building and building and building to get to the point where technology can do something truly incredible. That's going to be an aha moment for the industry because many people started this year. Like they started doing it this year. And I'm like, you're so far behind, you just don't even know it. Right, right. And that was incredible when I came in and heard that. It blew my mind. And still to this day, when we we haven't been able to send new hires to training out there in California in a while since COVID, but hopefully things are changing. We'll get people vaccinated. We'll get back to that because that truly is an aha moment for people when they go in there and hear that. They go, oh my God. And then you're able to see what's going on behind the scenes and to go to Mellow Home and see that you got a bunch of engineers just building this tech stuff. It's crazy. It's NASA, Yeah. It's rocket ship stuff. So it's crazy. And, how does that kind of with consumer behavior? Yeah. How does the technology now that we can leverage help with what's going on with consumer behavior now? Well, think about it, right? So we all remember the Netflix story. And it's a great parallel because Netflix and Blockbuster and lending is in a very similar technology path. So in Netflix, they mailed you DVDs, right? Which was kind of crappy because in Blockbuster, you could at least get it right then.
Right.
You could drive down there and grab the movie you wanted, and you had it right in your hand. And we liked that. But with Netflix, we had to wait for it to be mailed to us. And sure, maybe it would come the next day, but that didn't solve your problem if you wanted to watch a movie on a Friday night.
Right.
So, but we still did it because we got rid of late fees and we could keep them forever. And we still kind of liked it. But then a new technology arrived into the world. And it was interesting because it arrived because the bandwidth had gotten big enough to allow streaming technology to be effective. Streaming technology existed, but you couldn't really get it to your house very, very well. The internet was slow, if you remember. And so even though they're streaming tech, you couldn't watch the video. If old school people remember Napster or any of these download sites, it would take like 3 days to download a video because of how slow everything was.
That was ridiculous.
So now streaming tech comes into existence. We can get movies instantly. And even though Blockbuster started a streaming network to compete with Netflix, and Blockbuster arguably had a bigger name, a bigger consumer recognition, a bigger brand, it didn't matter. Because when those mega shifts happen, they happen fast and violently. So imagine a world where consumers are expecting what they expect. They want instant gratification, streaming, Uber. They want their food delivered. They want to watch their driver get lost. They want Amazon to show up in an hour with a charger. Imagine that a customer can go get an application, submit their documents, either digitally or physically, and be approved for their loan, clear to close right then in 7 seconds. Imagine that customer going and talking to another mortgage professional and then being like, well, once you send us this stuff, we got to put it in line. It goes to an underwriter. Here's our turn times. They're done. They're already gone.
Right.
It's going to be the same Blockbuster moment where Blockbuster's going, well, we can do it too. It's too late.
Yeah, it was too late by the time they did it. No matter how big they were, they still had brick and mortar and were trying to transition to what Netflix had already done.
The other example that we have in our lifetime was Countrywide. Yeah. Now, although Countrywide ended in a burning like meteor and it exploded, you have to go back in time and learn from what happened. So Countrywide was the first company to create automated underwriting.
Right.
It was called DU now. It was called Clues back then.
Yeah, back in the day.
That this happened. So automated underwriting existed. Other companies didn't have it. So you had Countrywide loan officers delivering approvals based on automated underwriting, and other companies had to go get in line in underwriting. The second technological advancement that Countrywide received was the ability from their capital partners where they were selling loans to waive certain documentation. Now, this hadn't become stated income yet. This hadn't turned into this. The first step of stated was this capital markets group said, look, this guy's a 780 FICO profile. He's got 45 months in reserves. He's worked at the same job for 17 years. We don't need to see his W-2. Just get his bank statements. And they waived the W-2.
Right.
It wasn't and then all of a sudden you can imagine the Countrywide loan officers were out there saying, you have an approval up front and I only earn your bank statements. No other competitor could do that. And what happened? Countrywide stepped on faces. They just started all the loan officers were like, well, I got to join them. I don't even like them, but I got to go there because I'm getting killed because I can't compete anymore in how the consumer is demanding I compete. Right. Guys, we have so many examples of this happening that your head's in the sand if you think it's not going to happen again. And when it happens again, it's going to be another consolidation moment where companies like loanDepot are going to balloon up with talent, grabbing talent because loan officers are going to say, I need that to compete.
Right.
And so that we've seen it in history. We've seen it in other businesses, and it's going to happen again. Like right now, we're like living in it, Mac. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the name of the game.
It is the name of the game. And it's funny because I'm involved in a lot of, coaching groups and different platforms. And I hear loan officers from all across the country. And I'll hear them talking about, oh, yeah, we had to do a VOE. We had to call here. And I'm going, what? I haven't done one of those in forever. What is that? Because, a great story is just this weekend. Had a client that, hadn't talked to in a little bit. Great folks. They're out. And they called me on a Saturday, and they need an approval. So they go into the system, apply. I go and look at it. Everything's been verified. So now I can literally say, cool, you're approved. I got income verification. I got asset verification. Go out there and shop till you drop, because I know that this is good. That's where we have to be. And I know I couldn't have been there before, because you're sitting around waiting. I got to order a VOE. Now they've lost the house by that time. In our market, it's ridiculous.
It's the truth. And this is where the industry is going. And you can get by doing it the old way. You can. But all of a sudden, it's like when I ask people, do you remember hearing about Uber for the first time?
Yeah.
You know, and everybody has to go, well, how did I hear about Uber? And they think about it, and then they realize it was a friend. It wasn't a Super Bowl commercial. It wasn't a digital ad on their Facebook page. They were out with friends, and somebody said, hey, did you know this Uber thing's going to come pick you up? And it blew your mind, and you downloaded the app. Yeah. Because that's what consumers do. When we like something, we like it, and we tell everybody about it, and it spreads. And that's what everyone's not understanding, is what's happening under the surface right now is consumers are not going to tolerate the old stinky way of doing loans. It's too crappy. Yeah. They're not going to do it. When there's another way, they're going to be like, I'm sorry, I'm doing it that way. Right. They're not going to wait around, dude.
Well, that's dead on. And like I said, with COVID, we've been forced into this situation. I mean, I never thought, look, you can get, well, I think they got Drizzly. You can get alcohol delivered to your door. I mean, we've taught people to trust things that they didn't trust before. People wouldn't put their credit card into their phone before. They barely trusted Amazon. Now they'll order everything on Amazon. It doesn't matter what it is. We have an app for it. So the quicker people get there in this industry, it's a takeover moment. And now you can give that lights out, service behind it, build your team behind it. It's an amazing, amazing time for not just for a company, but for our consumers out there that are trusting us with everything to get them into a house.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people see this as a threat, like fast technology, fast approvals is a threat to their business, because they think their value is in the packaging of a loan. Yeah. That's not a salesperson's value.
No.
You have two things that drive your value. Number one is, do people trust you enough to apply with you? Which is a big freaking value. Like, that's where the money is. Because if you're a lead generating machine, like, that's where it is. The second is in your ability to consult them with wisdom. You see, that's the thing with some of these online lenders that I won't name that are out there. They're trying to convince America that this is a transaction. Like, you give me money, I give you a hammer or a sandwich. It's not a transaction. It's a catastrophic financial decision that we have such short memories on, forgetting all those people that went into bankruptcy and foreclosure and had massive financial devastation because they got a bad mortgage. Right. So we know this. We just are putting blinders on, and it's not a transaction. You need somebody who has wisdom to help you understand the decision you're making, walk you through the 500 loan products, help you do an actual analysis of your financial health to figure out what program's good for you. And so those are the two pillars of a loan officer's value, is their consultative wisdom and their ability to build trust with customers that will actually have them apply with them. It's not in packaging a loan file, dude.
No.
You know those loan officers that are like, well, I can just out structure, I do the 1 year tax return and I got the 12-month banks. I'm like, dude, if you don't think technology is going to do all that, you are out of your mind. I get it doesn't do it today, but if you don't think technology is going to be able to read a loan file and be like, here's the 7 things you qualify for. Of course it is.
Right.
Of course it's going to go there in our lifetime.
Yeah, for sure.
Wisdom to pick what are those options are the best.
Yeah, I feel that coming very, very, very soon, if not already here. Something you just mentioned right there, or you started to mention earlier, was video. I think, video is a great thing, and it's taken people so long to grab hold of it. And we're still only seeing a fraction of people getting into it. And, maybe that's good for people like myself and you, because it gives us a chance to be out there in the front. But I've been pushed into it, and it makes sense, because all those things you just said about being the educator, being the person that gives them value, it's hard to do that and replicate that over and over and over and over and over again. But if you have a video library that does that, and it's a shameless plug, because if you go on to my website, you'll see my video library that was created by myself and Mike Cuevas. literally takes a first-time home buyer or a move-up home buyer step by step, not just through the process, but other things to start to think about that will make your home buying experience more enjoyable than ever before. And it's not about pushing, hey, you got to do business with me. It's about pushing, this is what you need to look for, you know? So what do you think about video coming into the next few years?
I'm a very simple person. I translate this into life experience that we've all had if we've been in this business longer than a few years. And the life experience we were taught was, look, Alec, you want to be successful in mortgage. You go out there and you have face-to-face meetings with realtors. You pop by their offices. You meet them at open houses. You go out on broker previews. You build relationships with them. And you're going to earn, they're going to know you, and then they're going to like you, and they're going to trust you. That's how you win in mortgage. And I was like, okay, got it. And I had unbelievable success following that code, right? Just relentless, outworking. And there was loan officers that said, you know what, I don't go out and visit realtors because there's just so many lenders out there. You know, there's just so many lenders out there. And then fast forward and go, look, it's the same equation now. Video on the internet is the same thing as a one-to-one pop into a realtor, except it's at scale. You can hit 1,000 people. And it lives on forever, meaning you could do, Mac, a first-time homebuyer video, and someone 2 years from now could see it.
Right.
So that one moment with the realtor, when I'm face-to-face with them, that one moment is finite. It's done. I leave. I walk out the door. That experience happened, and then it's over.
Right.
With video, it lives forever. I can keep making impact on people, and I can show up at scale and do the same thing I was doing with a realtor, except I can do it now at scale.
Right.
That, to me, anybody that sees that should just rip off like the blinders and be like, it's the light. I see what's happening. This is so obvious now that I have no choice but to play.
Right.
And the same loan officer that said, I don't go visit agents, is the same one today saying, I don't think videos work like the thing. It's the same person. You're the same person. And I go, then you're not going to achieve the level of success you could. You are handicapping yourself immediately. I'm not saying you're not going to be successful. I'm not saying you're going to go out of business. I'm just saying you will never be as successful as you're capable of if you don't realize the tools that are around you and use them effectively. It's nuts, bro. It drives me freaking crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't like what I look like and sound like. And I'm like, you're married. Somebody liked you. Somebody tolerating you. Or do you have friends? They must somehow got over the fact that you look and sound stupid because no one else cares how you look and sound. Just you. They care about their own insecurities and what they look like and sound like. They don't care about what you look and sound like.
Yep.
It's the same BS, and I'm sitting here watching it happen, and it's going away, Max. So it's like some people are getting it. They're just saying, screw it. They're putting the camera on. They're putting themselves out there, and it's incredibly fun to watch because they realize we're not that important. No one really cares.
Exactly.
You're not getting famous. Like, you're not getting retweeted by Ellen. Like, just start playing. But, you know, at the same time, it's so it's the future, Mac. It's the future. Video is the future. Live is the future because this creates an environment and a medium where everyone knows our conversation right now is not scripted. It cannot be produced. If I say something stupid, that's what I said. And we got to move on from it. Like, that's the game. I mean, I even would think that a lot of produced content is going to be falling to the wayside because consumers are like, you filmed that 17 times to make it perfect.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want the rawness. I want realness. I want to know what the real process is. And you can only have that on live.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think we saw that happening when reality TV came in. And then we figured out that a lot of reality TV was a little scripted in there, you know. So once we figured that out, but, you know, we can't script this type of stuff. And if people can get past, and this is what I teach in a lot of my video classes, is who cares what you look like or what you sound like? Because at the end of the day, that is an organic filter.
Yeah.
So the people that are drawn to you are the people that you want anyway. Yep. You know,
that's it.
That's what you want, because those are the people that you're going to work well with because they already resonate with you, whether it be Alec or Mac, they already feel you. So
dude, that's the biggest hack about this whole thing. The more content and video you do, the more you push the people away that don't are not attracted to your style. They go away faster, and the audience that is attracted to your style is pulled toward you faster, and you actually get the people you want to work with faster if you just do more content.
You do, man. Bam. And I'll leave it with that because we got a video class coming up on the 17th. Do not miss this video class. I'm telling you right now, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a real estate agent, or you're a mortgage lender, do not miss this one on the 17th at noon. You can probably find it in my event section. But Mike Cuevas, the real estate dude, is going to be on there. He's the dude that, man, I grabbed a hold of, and he has changed the last year. He's been the one that's changed it for me. I don't know if you've had a chance to hang with him yet. No,
but I love that you're doing the video class because just like walking into a face-to-face meeting, you can do things wrong.
Yeah.
On video. So, you know, you got to brush up on it. It's not just this like turn the camera on and you're good. No, you would never walk into a meeting in like shorts and a sweaty t-shirt. So no, right. Like there are things you could do. There's etiquette involved in video. So so I love that you're hosting the class on this because it's crucially important. It's a skill. It's a skill.
And it's fun. And it's just fun. So we got a few more minutes left. And I want to make sure, you know, the people understand. I mean, this is the Mojo Show. Man, what keeps you rolling, man? I wrote this down. What is your mojo, Alec? Come on, tell us what it is.
It's, you know, I think like many people, we have multiple things that drive us forward. You know, I'm very, very much driven for my family. I'm very, very much driven to be the man that I want my kids and my son and daughter to look at and be proud of. You know, I want my wife to be proud of me, to look and be like, that's my man. Like I'm driven from that. I want my family, my parents and my sister to be proud of me. You know, I want them to be like, that's my brother, that's my son. At the same time, I want to be helpful. I want to be thought of. So I heard a line in my life, Mac, you probably heard me say this before, but I'm a very self-centered person by nature. I'm very selfish. And one of the things that has grounded me a lot that I look back on was a quote that I am the extra in the movie of somebody else's life. And so, you know, for my wife, I'm looking to be the best supporting actor. That's, you know, if I get that award, I did it. You know, but in my work life with my friends and my colleagues, you know, I can play like the Obi-Wan Kenobi role or the Gandalf role. Like maybe I can play like a little bit of role and like, I want to be helpful because I think that a life well lived is a life where you are in service to others and you are helpful to others. And so that's kind of how I try to frame my leadership. It's how I try to frame my actions every day. And so I'm driven by that. And I'm also massively competitive, man. Like I just want to win, but I want to win in like the sport frame, right? Where like I can hang out afterwards and have a beer and high five, even though on the court we're vicious competitors. Right. You know, so I don't want to win and like, you know, have somebody lose. I do believe in abundance, you know, and meaning like take all their wealth and put them into bankruptcy or anything crazy. Like I'm not driven like that, but I definitely want to win, man. I want the scoreboard. I want my name to be, you know, the number to be higher than the other team at the end of the day. Yeah. And there's fun in that. So, I mean, I've been a competitor my whole life, played sports my whole life. And so I'm driven by, you know, the desire to win. And so I think like many people, we have complex things that drive us, but that's kind of the core of mine.
Well, man, I will tell you this. For one, I know you're very helpful. You're authentic in what you say. I've had the pleasure to get to know you over the last year and a half, and I can say you show up the same person all the time. You've been helpful to me, and I know you're helpful to a bunch of other people under this huge platform of loanDepot. I can't speak. Well, I'm going to go ahead and speak for your wife and kids because I know they would say the same thing. I know they're super proud of you, man.
They are.
I know they see you every day and go probably, hey, that's my daddy, and give him a big hug.
Although my 9-year-old son at times is pushing it, man. He's pushing it, dude. He's letting me know he's ready to be a man. So he's already pushing back, bro.
Well, you just got to get used to that. And then he'll come back to you at age 25, 26 right. And go, Dad, you know, you probably went through that too. So, I mean, all I can say is thanks for taking the time today. Yeah. You're a busy dude, but you always have taken the time to talk to me or help me in any way. So continue doing that, man, and continue helping and pushing us forward because this company is going great places, man.
All right, man. Thank you for all you do, Mac. I appreciate it.
Brother. I appreciate you. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right.